Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel, and for anyone who is new, welcome to this channel. My name is Michelle McDaniel. This is my page and my thoughts will probably offend you. I am a personal trainer, a proud mommy of a pug. Cosplayer who is out of cosplay today, but I did get a little festive with this $1 bow from the dollar store. Looks like I'm naked, and I know those comments are coming, so I said it first, so hop. Before we start, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and after this video, check out my last video. We did a little review of the biggest train wreck from 90 Day Fiance Darcy. We love a messy girl, at least I do. You guys were saying that she is the Trisha Paytas of 90 Day Fiance, and I thought that was funny, and you guys seem to really like it. So we will do a lot more of those, and if you haven't seen it, check out the video after this one. On this channel, we do talk a lot about health, we talk a lot about fitness, we talk a lot about obesity and the fact that people have so many excuses as to why they are obese. Whether it's, well, I have kids, I have a hectic job, I don't have time, and my absolute favorite, well, it just runs in my family, aka genetics. People use genetics as an excuse to be obese, but most people who use genetics as the reason to why they are obese really are just in a calorie surplus, aka eating way too much for their body. And they take that genetic excuse and they ride this wave straight to the buffet talking about genetics make me look like this. But sometimes there is a genetic disorder that can really make you gain a lot of weight. And unfortunately, it's out of your control. Now, if you remember the video I did on the 500-pound 12-year-old that died alone, surrounded by pizza boxes and empty containers of other fast food, a super sad story as well. I will put that in the link description too if you are interested. In that video, I put a picture of this little 5-year-old boy. So I got very interested because he's so young, so small. I mean, it compared him to another 5-year-old kid and the comparison was insane, as you can see here. So I got very interested and I started to look into what was going on. Why was he so big? Are they helping him? And it turns out he has a genetic disorder. I wanted to make sure to talk about this on this channel because there are genetic disorders that can make you gain weight. I'm not someone who is completely educated on exactly everything about this, but if you are a doctor and you know about this and you'd like to be on my channel for about 2 to 3 minutes to just explain some things that I personally am not qualified to explain, I would love to have you on here. Please reach out with your credentials and your practice and I would love to have you on the channel. But I personally think that fat activists who use their genetic disorders as an excuse to make up for their gluttony and laziness is a big old slap in the face to people like this little boy. This person and other people like him actually have a disorder. So when other people who claim that it's my genetics, it's this disorder, and it's really just them overeating, it makes it hard for these people who actually have something that they can't help. And when they talk about it, then we all sit over here like, yeah, right. You're eating too much. When once again, there are horrible diseases out there, very small amounts, and a very small amount of people have it, that can cause excessive weight gain. So let's read about 5-year-old McDaniel. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I'm probably butchering it. Most likely I butcher everybody's name, no disrespect at all. Let's read about him and what his disorder is that's making him obese. Boy 5 who weighs 12 stones risks suffocating by his own bulk. At 12 stones, McDaniel is 3 times the size of other children his age. His excess weight is due to a syndrome, which means he is unable to stop eating. He is so heavy he often stops breathing while sleeping, leaving his terrified parents fearing that he may not wake up. That's a question that I have for any doctor that reaches out in my email if they want to be on the channel. Does it really force you to keep eating, or do you pass out or something if you don't keep those calories up, or is it just something in the brain that leaves you hungry? I'm just kind of curious if you are able to fight it, which kind of sucks because I cannot stand being hungry. That's just my question. Is there a way to fight it, or do you like literally have to eat, or you're gonna pass out, or something with blood sugar or something like that? I really want someone to explain it to me. But everything is hard for him. He is a baby carrying an adult's weight. His heart must be suffocated and working under a lot of pressure. If he doesn't get the treatment he requires, there is a very good chance he will pass away. McDaniel was born a healthy 6 pounds and 6 ounces, but immediately started gaining weight. Doctors believe he is suffering from Prader-Willi syndrome, a rare genetic condition that results in an insatiable appetite. He now weighs 178 pounds and is still gaining weight despite following a low-fat diet and walking for 40 minutes a day. Just to talk about this low-fat diet thing, just because you are on a low-fat diet doesn't mean that you will gain weight. I'm not sure about his condition because I don't know about this condition very much. A lot of people don't know about this condition. Doctors don't know about this condition very much. There's no cure. Just because you go on a low-fat diet doesn't mean that you won't gain weight. You can completely overeat on carbs and protein. I was on a low-fat diet and I lost weight because I was at a calorie deficit. When I started gaining weight, I blamed the carbs, but what was it actually? It was the calories, being at a calorie surplus. So just to put that in perspective to everyone else, some people think if you cut out fat, then you drop fat. That's not scientifically correct. Despite their constant struggle, his parents have refused to give up on him. and say they will do anything they can to improve his quality of life. The mom said he has been putting on a lot of weight since he was a baby. Even when I was breastfeeding him, he ate more than was expected. And once again, the question brings it up, are you able to like control it and just kind of just stop, you know, what he's eating to control the weight? Or is it definitely to not give him the food? Like what happens if you don't help him overeat? But it was only when he was 1.5 years old that we began to worry. He was gaining 6.6 pounds a month and was starting to get very heavy. The situation is complicated. We know we could lose him at any time. Sometimes when he is sleeping, I watch him to see if he is breathing. I cry a lot because we want to help him, but I'm also very proud of him because he is a child who doesn't surrender. I live for my son. He is special. His teachers told me that everything the other children do, he wants to do as well. He doesn't want to have limits. He wants to be a normal child. Mazel visits a doctor every 3 months to try and control his condition, but currently there is no cure for Prader-Willi syndrome. And that was it for the article. I want to do a follow-up on this video and see if there is a doctor that knows more about this, that is interested to be on the channel. And it would be great if I could find an update on Mazel and see how he is doing. Hopefully something positive. But I did want to take a little bit of time at the end of this video and tell you a little bit about Prader-Willi syndrome. So it is an extremely rare disease. There is treatment, but it can't be cured. It does require a medical diagnosis. So anyone saying, well, I probably have that, you have to get diagnosed by a doctor. You can't just say, well, I have it and this is why I'm obese. And I'm very guilty of this too. I mean, which one of us have had some kind of thing going on and then you go online and you type in your symptom and you're like, oh crap, I'm gonna freaking die, and you self-diagnose yourself? You can't do that. You have to go to a medical professional. Prader-Willi syndrome is a genetic disorder that causes obesity, intellectual disability, and shortness in height. Prader-Willi syndrome is a genetic disorder usually caused by deletion of a part of chromosome 15 passed down by the father. In people with PWS, the part of the brain that controls feelings of fullness and hunger does not work properly. That's what I kind of thought that it was, like something with the brain that it doesn't signal to be full, and so you never feel full, and so therefore you just keep eating. So that's what a little bit of what I found about Prader-Willi syndrome, and I found it very interesting. I very much feel for the little boy. That really sucks. Like I said, I'm very, very curious as to what happens if you do control the calories and just don't give in to your brain saying you need to eat more. What happens if you eat a very clean lifestyle, high fiber foods, low in sugar, foods that signal to the brain to stop eating? Like, does that help anything with the syndrome? So it was a very short video today, but that was just something that really interested me, and I wanted to make sure to shine light on things that do make it a lot harder to lose weight, or things that do that make it a lot easier to be bigger. I wish Mazel the best. I hope he's okay. I hope they find a solution. I wish health on him. I wish health on all the people that are watching. Remember, you don't have to be a size 2. Abs are great to have, but not needed to be healthy. And sometimes there are disorders that make people bigger. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.